Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 3 of our YouTube series, Cocktails and Conversations with Jaime and Bryan, your hosts of the Don't Smudge the Small Stuff podcast. On today's episode, we are going to be talking all about skincare with Jaime's esthetician, Valerie Val Rutt. Jaime, why don't you tell us all about Val?
Hello, my friends. Today's guest is the owner and operator of the thespas in Smyrna, Delaware. Outside of work, she is a busy mom of 3 in a military family who is focused on maintaining her wellness journey. She is a licensed professional with 22 years of experience in multiple areas of the beauty industry. Her passion for skincare correction is by far her favorite area of expertise, and let me tell you, I can personally say that her treatments are results driven. Hands down, best treatments I have ever experienced on my skin.
So excited. You know, I love skincare. I am very passionate about skincare.
Oh, I was very nervous today. I was like, oh my gosh, I just did a treatment with her, on Saturday. I was like, I need to make sure that my skin is right, that I don't do anything before this, that she is going to be focused on. I am so excited to introduce her to you, Bryan, and to all of our friends.
I'm excited. I did a mask and then I did under eye patches for hydration. I wanted to look really good for Val.
Always look good.
So excited. So I think we will go ahead and perhaps bring Val on.
Bring her in.
All right, so I'm going to head and bring in Val. Should be here any second. It's coming.
Should get Jeopardy music.
Right?
Progress.
Hello.
Hi, Val.
Hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you.
Oh, well, you have, but I haven't said anything yet.
All right. Listen, I don't know if Jaime told you, but I am obsessed with skincare. Obsessed. I am probably, it's a sickness, but yes, I'm obsessed.
It is. It's a sickness because I have it too.
So before we get started, we have to talk about the real important things. We need to know what your cocktail is, since this is Cocktails and Conversations.
Oh, okay. So I just snuck down. This is my home office, right? And I just snuck down here and I snuck my tequila.
Oh, yes.
With the water bottle that I had that I made the lemon lime mix with fresh lemon and fresh lime, because then there's no preservatives, which are not going to vomit out through my skin. And we're just going to pretend like there's no tequila in there whatsoever. No. And it's going to be a fucking party.
Yes.
I'm all about the party. And FYI, Suzanne Summers, who I'm obsessed with as well, has a glass of tequila every night at 5 p.m. And she does the 100% agave tequila, which does not register on the glycemic. So I don't think your skin's gonna vomit it. I'm telling you. Jaime, what do you have?
I'm excited.
What is yours, Jaime?
I decided that I needed to have a painkiller because you need them before a Brazilian wax at the thespas or any of the skincare treatments that I am definitely partaking in, not only monthly, but continuously for the rest of my life. Cheers.
I am having, I was going to have a tequila toner, but I decided to go with the antioxidant, which is tequila, and I have a little raspberry juice and some blueberries floating around in my tequila. So that's what I'm having.
I mean, can you go wrong with antioxidants?
No. I don't think so. I mean, wait, as long as they're with tequila, right?
That's right.
Well, my drink has rum in it, so I guess you're just gonna have to fry my face off next month.
Oh,
that pineapple.
You know it.
You have to know the problem. I mean, come on now. And so funny, you'll get to see this. Jamie's internet freezes all the time. It is now
Oh,
frozen.
yes.
And
It's
she's sitting
frozen.
there making a face like she's sitting on the toilet. It's amazing. So we will hope to get this 1 or 2 more times during the conversation.
I think that we should start taking freeze frame pictures of our guests as well, since we already do it with each other. And we'll just do like a memory reel at the end of the year and see if we can get like some giggles out of it.
But I think our guests have better internet than you do.
Oh, well, cheers, bitches. No.
To that. All right, James. So, and then
Okay.
to this, you have prepared some questions and things. So let's just jump right in and talk about skincare.
So I know, and we introduced you with your 22 years experience and your corrective skincare. And I want to kind of circle back to the skincare. But what I really want to know is how in the world does a little boutique spa in Smyrna, Delaware be the #1 stop for hair removal and waxing? Tell me all about it. Tell me what you do different and tell me why we should all go there when we visit Smyrna or anywhere close to there for that matter.
Well, so I have people all over the state that have followed me from salon to salon. And when I first started in the industry, I actually was doing nails. And the esthetician that I met at that very first salon actually is my esthetician, who I still go to. So all these years later, her and I are still in contact. That particular salon closed and she's still local to that area, but she used this one particular kind of wax that I did not use for like probably 5 years after I left there. The other salon that I worked at, she didn't want to invest that kind of money into that. And I remember working with her, and I did my apprenticeship under her, and she was always just so busy with waxing. And this was like pre 9/11, never had to worry about where your next promotion or client was coming from, anything like that. And so years later, like I just have this memory of her being like trying to squeeze in a brow wax in between 2 other brow waxes. Like, I mean, she was just so insanely busy. And I went to another salon where, over the years, I was there a very long time, almost 10 years. And over time, I was like, you know what? I have enough waxing that you should be investing in like a higher price point and we can charge more and we have these better wax. And I wanted that particular brand of wax. And as soon as we got it, I've pretty much used it the rest of my career. But aside from that, I just remember people being like, oh my God, this is so much better. And over the years, I've gone to all these different shows and everything, and they've all had a ton of different waxing classes. Like, even though it wasn't that particular brand, I went to all of their technique classes. And as much as I would like to take credit for some of it is absolutely the wax. Like, it just heats at a lower temperature and it's always available, and I don't switch back and forth between products. And some people that find me even find me on their website because they're specifically looking for that product. And it's just, people gravitate to it because nothing ever changes. You can always get the same person at my salon. You can always get the same products at my salon. We're always available. You can book online or you can call. Like, it's very sustainable and it's been the same all those years. And in our industry, people are very fickle.
Yeah.
You disappoint them one time and they never forget it. Even if they continue to come to you, like, they never forget it. That's always like in the back of their mind. And that's why I never change products. That's why I don't change technique or consistency or availability or anything like that. And people gravitate to that because they know that it's something that they can depend on, because as we know, everything going on in the world right now, you can't depend on anything. Well, people depend on me and they pretty much pay for the therapy now, not the wax.
Well, I mean, consistency really is key in any type of service. I mean, talk about just going and getting a service and being able to have the products that you want, that work for your skin, the people there that you made the connection with, and you're okay with them touching you and working on your body. I mean, especially Brazilians and things like that, you need to trust the person that's touching you. And if you have products that work, that are great products, and you're giving them a level of service that they might not be able to get somewhere else, because I mean, products are products, but the service that you give, the love, the energy that you exchange when you're working on that person, I'll pay top dollar for, and I'll go back every time.
Oh, and it's funny too, because people do, they say all the time, oh, I've been to this place or I've been to that place, and I don't mind being your backup plan. Like, totally, come on, you go wherever works for you. But what I hear consistently the most is, oh, I went to salon A or salon B or salon C or whatever, and I lost my girl. And then they always end up back with me. And I can't tell you how many people over the years have just been like, well, I'm not going back there because I don't know what happened to my girl, or she went on maternity leave and never came back, or she's going to a salon that's too far or whatever. And I have not gone that far over the years. Like, I have worked at 3 major salons, and one is the one that I own right now. And I feel like that's a whole nother thing with our industry too, because the girls now that are coming through school they're just jumping from place to place to place. And I literally never did that my whole career. 3 places is what I've worked in my career.
That's awesome. Yeah. So may I ask, what made you decide to get into this industry?
Ugly people. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm totally kidding. I swear. I swear.
That's on me. If you worked on me, I'm the ugly people, but okay.
No, I swear that's not true. So honestly, like, what started me in the skincare side of the industry was the waxing, because I didn't do a whole lot to my own skin before I got into skincare. But I mean, I was like in my early 20s, right? And I started with waxing, and then I started doing like just very general facials, and pretty much the way that my interest in the industry like kind of evolved actually was through education in the industry. The mentor that I have had for a number of years has always done corrective skincare. She's always used the same skincare line, and we have gone to shows together. She started doing education. I've taken all of her classes, things like that. And it kind of just developed on its own. And now I pretty much don't do anything that doesn't hurt. Chemical peels, microblading, Brazilian waxing, like everything that I do kind of hurts, but it's for the greater good. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, so you want all your hair gone? Yeah, well, beauty is pain. Oh, you want me to fix your face and you have dark spots on your face, or you have sun damage, or you have acne, or you've tried everything and I'm your last resort before Accutane. Okay, well, you know, that's all of that hurts, you know. And unfortunately, what also hurts is wellness evaluations, which I've recently started doing like in the last 5 years. Yeah, that hurts too, because sometimes if you drink a bottle of wine before you go to bed, stupid, your face is going to throw up. Like, yes, especially if you do it every night. Jamie!
That is
literally the conversation.
I did have somebody tell me one day, they were like, man, I drink a bottle of wine before I go to bed and I don't understand it. I'm like, okay.
If you have not started following the VSpa on Instagram, you need to as soon as you're done watching this YouTube, because her horror stories, she has turned into humor, and they are almost unbelievable because they are so funny. Some of
every word
stories,
is true, I swear to God.
Well, a little later, I want to talk about horror stories. I think we should end on some horror stories because they're fascinating.
I'm going to write a book one day, I swear.
Oh, absolutely. I think you should. Absolutely.
Oh my goodness. So as we're talking about horror stories, and since waxing has been your motivation and it's obviously stood the test of time, right, through an ever-changing industry. Let's see. And it's technique, it's experience, it's the product. Yeah. But my question is, if it is all of these things, it also has to take a very special person to do these services, right? You were talking about, you know, the estheticians coming out of school now, or the hairstylists coming out of school now, you know, and doing waxing. And when you get to the point where your book, your schedule is filled with Brazilian waxing, it not only shows that the product and the service and such are, top notch, but that you, Val, are a special type of person to be able to do that.
Well,
You
I mean,
really
listen,
have
you
to
got to get
have it.
around people's hoo-has. So, I mean, and listen, the hoo-ha is not necessarily pretty. So,
I mean, some could
Well,
be.
it's when you leave. I mean,
oh yeah.
you absolutely have to have a sense of humor, especially in this industry. And it really doesn't matter what you're doing, but especially with like body waxing, it is very, it's people are uptight about it. And I feel like it's not even the waxing sometimes that's the issue. It's taking off your clothes in front of a stranger. Like, it's either one thing or another. And you just don't know, like, women that have had 5 kids are still even weird about it. And I'm like, but you don't have to be. And I'll go as safe as to say, like, their second appointment, all you have to do, you'd be amazed what people will tell you. They like start taking off your clothes and dumping their bucket. And when they realize that they can do that and that you will literally accept anything that they say, they are hooked. Like, it only takes one appointment and they're like, this is therapy. Like, I'm gonna go get my vagina waxed and I'm gonna dump my bucket. And I got 15 minutes to do it. Like, let's make it happen here, sister.
And 15 minutes, that's impressive.
And their vagina is pretty, and then they leave.
Amy waxed me and it took like, I think, an hour. When we were working together at our previous employer where we met, I was going home and I get hair and then on my back, it's disgusting. And so I said, hey, Jamie, I'm like, I don't like all this hair and I don't want to shave it. And she said, I'll wax you. And so I'm like, okay. And so, oh my God, but it took forever. It's so much hair. But
no way, I have it done in and out, 15 minutes.
Wow.
From your
That is the difference between
22
22 years experience and no self-experience right here. I was like, let's go. While you're saying this story, I'm just realizing, Brian, I met you at the school in Florida that we worked at.
Yes.
And Val and I worked cohesively at the school in Delaware that I was at. I had, what was it career services first, or was it guest speaker or something like that? Like, I had you come in and talk to the estheticians.
I don't even remember because I worked for somebody else then and they told me you were looking for an esthetician.
So, I mean, it's that just, as you were telling that story of me waxing you, Brian, I was like, oh my God, these 2 beautiful people in my life I met at 2 separate schools, 1,000 miles apart. And here we are. Oh,
that's so awesome. You mean, I'm telling you, it's meant to be. It's the energy you put forth. We're like magnets. We bring that energy back to us and it all just comes together in a neat little package.
Love it.
Well, I'm a big package.
You're not a big package. Like, this is a big package. Here up. I mean, I'm not fat, but I'm not super skinny either.
I am a big package with a really bright bow. Okay, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I'll tell you, when you realize that Val will legitimately accept anything that you have to say, it actually becomes an addiction. Like, people come in to get waxed and they're like, man, this seriously is my therapy time. Like,
yes,
it is what it is. I'm convinced.
One of the things that I experience at the VSpa that is completely different than anywhere that I've ever been. I feel like, you have your esthetician, you have your products, you like your services, wherever you may go. The environment that you breathe, that comfort zone, you're not going into this stuffy business, this stuffy boutique that has these corrective services, these, you're getting all of that, but you're not getting that stuffy feeling. Clients come in and they're talking like you are about to have a drink with them. Like, they just come in and like you've known them for years and they're comfortable to be themselves. There's no facade. There's no, no one's wearing, anything to cover up who they truly are. They literally come in as they are. And that's one of the things that I love about the V-Spot is that it takes all of the stigma away from the sterile aesthetic, like history of skincare. And it really like bumps it up to this like funky, modern, chill spot that you go in to have some paint put on you for 15 minutes or, in my case, 45. And
45. But
I got a lot of bucket to dump.
But Jamie, you know what? I bet, and you can appreciate this, and Brian, I'm sure that you can too. There is not enough acceptance in this world, especially not with everything what's going on right now, and I come from, I have no family. Like the family that I married into happens to be like a military family or whatever. And I'm close with those people, but I don't have any of my own family, only the people that exited my body. And there is just not enough acceptance in this world. And I had a lot of trouble with that when I was younger, and I never wanted to be that parent. And I don't feel like I ever have been, but when I got into this industry, even like doing nails when I was like very young and like right directly face to face with people, like that's what started it for me, because people, there are really only two kinds of Asian salons. There are the Asian salons, right, that have a little bit of a communication barrier. And then there's just a plain nail salon, and it doesn't matter like what ethnicity you happen to be, but I feel like there's like the great divide with nail salons, right?
Right.
But I worked at day spas where, it was only us little white girls, like that did nails, and that was it, where there was only 2 pedicure chairs, whereas like when I went to get a pedicure, there was like 15. Like I could take me and 14 of my closest friends and we could all go get pedicures at the same time. And I feel like that's really what started me with my clients, being able to like let them just dump their buckets. And like, 20 years ago, it was acrylics, like it wasn't gel, like, which was a much longer process then than when you're getting manicures now. So people had plenty of time to dump their buckets. And like all of that nail stuff, that's what paid for me to go to aesthetic school, like do my apprenticeship and get everything that I needed. And all of those clients just slowly morphed into my skincare. And at the place that I'm at now, it's much smaller. Like we don't have the room to do every single service. So I actually stopped doing nails about 5 years ago. But I mean, for 15 years, all of those clients got double services with me, like wherever I happened to work, they would come and get nails, and then they would come and get waxed, and then they'd get skincare or whatever I happened to be offering. And a couple of those places were hair salons as well. So they found a hairdresser there too. It was like, one-stop shopping. And it kind of morphed into this thing. And that's where it started for me, for people being able to like dump their bucket. And there is just 100%. And I see this more and more, especially now that my kids aren't like really little, like there's just not enough acceptance. And I'm always telling the kids, whatever you tell me, I'll accept it. Doesn't matter if I like it or not. Like I will accept it. And you can ask any of my clients, like, they're like, yeah, you will. Like it's just what it is. Like, and that's what they expect now. They need to come in and just be able to dump their bucket, and they're just glad that it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
And
That's
I know all
awesome.
kinds of shit.
That's awesome.
Like,
I agree. I don't think there's nearly enough acceptance anywhere in the world. And to be able to go somewhere where you're actually getting a service that you want and need for your body, but you also have that place where you feel comfortable enough, like you say, to dump the bucket and feel like out of whatever's going on in the crazy world or your life individually, you have that time and that place where it's okay to just be you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So waxing and nails into skincare, right?
Yep.
So aside from waxing, if we pushed waxing aside, I will never say out. We push it aside.
No, never out.
No. What would you say right now is the most popular service aside from, your waxing? What would you say is the most popular with your clients right now?
So I do a ton of dermaplaning and chemical peels. And I mean, without actually like, pulling up a report on the computer, I would say it's probably running neck and neck because people are looking for instant gratification. Unfortunately, like they've just been sitting around the house too long. I know, you naughty girl.
Right there.
Guilty.
I feel like people have just been sitting around for so long, and like some people are venturing really far out on vacation and not getting their service, or the polar opposite. They're still not ready to go anywhere and they're spending their vacation money at my place, right? Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So when they come in though, they're looking for the instant gratification, and dermaplaning will give that to you. Like that is legitimately instant gratification. Even if you get it by itself, male, female, whatever, doesn't matter. Like you get that instant gratification. But if you're battling a condition of some nature or some kind of skin disease or trauma or melasma or whatever it is that you're battling with your skin, a chemical peel will give you a little bit of instant gratification, like because you'll leave and you'll be smooth and you'll be glowing, and you can pair it with dermaplaning, which a lot of people do, and you get that instant. All right, look at Jamie over there. She's like,
mm-hmm. So let me ask this, so if someone who's watching is looking to go in and maybe they have, their skin's low uneven, maybe it's combination, it's dry, oily, it's, maybe some hyperpigmentation, just whatever. And they want to go in and they want to walk out looking like something happened. Do you know what I mean? Is it dermaplaning? Like what's the one thing that, like, say I could walk in today and walk out and be like, oh my God, my face looks amazing.
So I would say, so I do consultations with everybody, even if I've seen you before, like that is just kind of standard operating procedure with us. And I would say, I always talk to everybody about what their goals are and what their budget is, because we are fairly budget friendly. Like dermaplaning by itself is not an expensive service, but a chemical peel is. And if that's not something, if you're not looking to spend $200 or $300 on a service and you're not willing to take care of it, then that's not what I recommend for you, because you will literally, you might as well just set $300 on fire if you want a chemical peel, but you're not willing to take care of it. And I'm not willing to carry that reputation. So if they're not willing to take care of it, let's just scale that right back down, because dermaplaning, which is very affordable, like, I mean, you're talking like $100 or less, you can get all of the hair off of your face minus your eyebrows, and you get this really deep, I mean, just nasty grinding exfoliation that is okay in a controlled environment, but not something, disclaimer, everybody watching, do not do it at home, okay? God damn it. Okay.
Oh, dang it, I gotta take my little
no, God damn it. Son of a bitch.
I was gonna demo it right here.
I cringe every time that damn infomercial comes on with the shaver, and I'm like,
I know.
No.
So,
but see, dermaplaning is like this amazing, like I take a surgical scalpel and I remove all of that hair and all the dead skin and all the makeup or all the whatever that is on your face. And I'm telling you, if you have a dry spot and then a greasy spot and then a wrinkly spot and then a not wrinkly spot, and you have spots on your face, that it does not instantly correct any kind of spots. Like that takes work, but you get all of this stuff off of your face. Your products work better. Your skin, it basically starts at a flat canvas because it goes all the way back basically to neutral. So we've gotten rid of all the dry spots, all the greasy spots, all the everything. And I typically just recommend that you get on a good routine after that, even if that only looks like a cleanser and a moisturizer. Somebody has to start somewhere, because a lot of people that I see, they're like, yeah, I have no idea how this even got this way. And I'm like, oh yeah, what do you use on your skin?
Yeah.
Nothing.
I cringe when people tell me they use bar soap, like Ivory or just some bar soap. I'm like,
no. Are you ready? Are you ready? What about the Apricot Scrub?
First of all, that stuff is the pieces of the apricot seed. It's not even, and it's so hard and jagged. You've got to be tearing your skin. I shudder. Suzanne has a lovely exfoliant that's perfectly round and does its thing, but it just, Suzanne. But I can't imagine. I'm sorry. I'm obsessed with Suzanne. So I really was gonna bring all of my product, be like, look, I have everything, because I have everything. But
Suzanne, if you are watching, we need you on one of these YouTubes.
She is too busy to watch us, and two, she'd be like, no. Although I drink tequila because of Suzanne. I'm doing it because of her. But that apricot scrub is the devil.
It is the devil, and cheers to not using it. I mean, because that is just bullshit, okay?
So if I have fine lines, maybe even some deeper set crow's feet or expression lines up here, if we're looking at budget friendly, would dermaplaning have me, I mean, you may have to do it, a couple times to get,
or is dermaplaning in one treatment is like instant gratification, because you are getting, like, a lot of people don't realize this. Like, I mean, we're mammals and we're covered in hair, but nobody realizes what's on your face until you take it off. And it usually is a one and done, and you absolutely, like, it is an addiction. Like, I saved this little thing that I wipe the blade on the first time that you do it. And I just wipe the blade on it, and then you just look at it like it's this little square, and you look at it when I'm done, and I'm like, oh my God, like, this is what you just took off my face. And I'm like,
Unless you're me and you're half Italian, half Armenian with a little bit of Irish mixed in there, and you're like, she says, don't show me that square. Don't show me that square. Don't show me that square.
Don't tell me.
Because I guarantee.
But it's, you really can get, like, I guess to answer your question, it really only takes one treatment, because you get it and you just don't realize what was actually on your face. Like, people are like, oh, like, my skin just doesn't feel even. Well, sit still, sister, because we're about to fix that. And once you get all the stuff off of your face, you actually realize that it probably was even. And if it's not even, it's not the hair on your face, or it's not whatever is wrong with your face. It's what you've been using, because it probably couldn't get through all of that. And now that it's gone, you go home and you use the products. Like, I always make recommendations. Like, don't fix what isn't broken. If you like what you use, that's totally fine. But I also use a disclaimer of, you just got dermaplaning and it's this amazing service. So if you go home and you realize that your products don't work anymore, you make sure you give me a call. Yeah. Because that happens all the time. Like, their cleanser might be working just beautifully now, because now it doesn't have to work as hard. But 3 weeks later, they're not going to like it anymore, because they're going to realize it actually never really worked to start with.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I think that for our viewers who maybe have never had any type of a skin service before and aren't sure obviously a consultation would help them, but I think it's such a great, affordable place to start. And then, like you said, you'll realize, oh, I have all these products that I bought that now don't really seem to be working, because of all of that muck on your face is now no longer there. Now it's your true skin showing, and you have to take care of it.
Yeah, and you really can't hide anything after the dermaplaning, because there's nothing left.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I would say, even just starting off in skincare years ago, doing, the fluffy facial, and just getting used to, what a skincare service was like, getting on a skincare regimen at home, and then kind of going into the next step where it was like not a physical, exfoliant, like the gritty stuff. It was more of like the enzyme. And then you kind of go into like the chemical, but then you need more. So you have that dermaplane, and you can pair the dermaplane with the fluffy, and you can pair the dermaplane with the enzyme, and you can pair the dermaplane with the peels. My question is, if you're already that person that's pairing the dermaplane with the peels, where do you go next?
You actually go home. You need product at home. Like, if you are getting these amazing treatments and they are doing what they need to do, like, it's not a one and done. Like, the enzyme peels are very proactive. Like, there's there's a million of them depending on who you go to and what product line they use. Like they should be able to mix and match them seasonally and according to what you need and according to what you're doing at home. Like you never have to have the same service twice. I don't do anything fluffy. Disclaimer, anybody who's watching, if you're planning on coming to see me, everything hurts, just disclaimer. But the enzyme peels are really user-friendly. Like earlier today, I mixed a pumpkin and cranberry together because it smells like fall and everybody's like kind of over the summer, you know, and I mixed it and they were like, fuck, it's burning my face. And I'm like, yes, sweetheart, because we have to burn the summer off. Like,
you gotta burn it off. You gotta burn the shit off.
We have to burn the summer off.
We have to burn the summer off, sweetheart. Yes.
You know, sidebar, you need to get T-shirts, hoodies, something, but like, you know, with the bucket logo, burn the shit off. Like I think there's a whole opportunity there for you to like market your sayings, which I just love.
Once, Jamie, actually, I think you have one, and it has like the salon logo on the front of it, and it says "My V is better than yours."
That's awesome. Because I want like dump the bucket and burn the shit off. That's so
burn the shit off.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
I love skincare. I could talk about skincare probably all day, every day. I mean, Jamie will tell you every time I get a new Suzanne product, because I don't know if I told you, but I'm obsessed with Suzanne Summers.
I mean, you might have mentioned it.
I might have, but I'm not sure, but I just thought I'd throw it out. But every time I get something new, I set it up real cute on my counter and I take a picture and I send it to Jamie. Like I just got the Manuka honey. It's a moisturizer. It's a super like rich moisturizing gel. I mean, that shit, and I mean, I like washed my face, I did a little exfoliation, and then I put it on, and then I woke up the next morning, I'm like, why is my skin so tight and soft and beautiful? I'm obsessed. Obsessed.
Well, who the fuck knew? Like, yay, Suzanne!
And who knew that Manuka honey isn't really honey? It's a very rare flower that blooms only in New Zealand. That's now on my face.
My big question for you then, okay, is Miss Suzanne Summers and her big line of products, okay, they are safe for the general public.
Yeah.
So how, like, what kind of preservatives are in there? Like, are they working? Like,
there are botanical actives. They're certified toxic-free, cruelty-free, and they're botanical actives. I think we're gonna have to do a whole series on Suzanne Summers, but I mean, there's nothing bad in them. The only products that she has that does have some chemicals in it are her nail polishes. She doesn't have the top 10 horrible things because she can't get the colors right without having a little something in it. But I mean, her skincare
nail polish is totally different though. I don't even think that counts.
Yeah. Her skincare is clean. Like I should have brought them out, and I mean, I could like totally go get something and read it to you. You want me to?
No, you don't have to. I totally believe you.
Okay.
But I guess like, so, all right. So it doesn't have anything bad in it, probably certified B, something equally ridiculous, you know, like all good things, but our bodies are like one big chemical experiment. So like, how do you feel like her stuff like compares to someone else? So like my products, I use exclusively, I have used a natural difference for like the majority of my career, and it is lovely and it's withstood the test of time and all that, but it's only available to professionals. So people cannot buy it online. It's a very small company, things like that, right? So the people that use the products have an esthetician that is making decisions for them. Like you, I would assume, are buying your own products. So how do you know what's right? And how do you know that like, if there's no chemicals in them, how do you know that they're working for you?
Well, okay, so if you don't have chemicals, because this experiment that I'm doing with Suzanne Summers, it is actually removing toxins out of my life. I'm not saying that I'm not going to go get some Botox at some point, but I wanted to try the product because I used to get it, but I wanted to try it for a year and just see what it did to my skin. Now, I will say, I mean, yeah, I have some wrinkles, you know, from expressions, and I have just a wee little bit of crow's feet. But what I will tell you is that obviously nothing is going to get rid of a wrinkle except something chemical based that will soften the hell out of it, or you need Botox or you need surgery. I mean, obviously. But what I find with this after a year of use is my skin is incredibly hydrated. It is more plump. It's tighter. It feels more toned. It feels healthier. Like before, I washed my face and my skin would almost itch. It would feel so tight. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not working for me. And with this, I feel with all the botanical actives in it, it's very nourishing for my skin. Now, obviously, you know, I'm over 50 and I'm going to get to a point where I'm going to really need something serious. But I really wanted to try at least a year of not having chemicals just to see how my skin was. And I will say that it looks better than it did a year ago. My fine lines and wrinkles are softer. My deeper set ones up here aren't as much. That's why I try not to express that much. But they're you know, they're better. But obviously, you know, I'm very expressive and I'm not putting fillers or anything in there. So that's, you know, happening over time. But I mean, you know, good experiment. I'm proud that I did it, and I'm not saying that I might not in a couple weeks go get Botox just because. You know,
stop it.
I might.
You are beautiful.
But here's the
yeah,
thing.
but I feel like
amazing skincare.
Like I feel like Jamie, and I feel like you can kind of feel me on this one too. Like as a guy, he's so lucky because men do not have the hormone fluctuations. Like it's science. Like it's just a proven fact. You know, men do not ride the hormone highs that women do, and you are going to age so much more gracefully. And I applaud your efforts for sticking with something for so long, because let me just tell you, women don't stick with anything that long. 5 minutes and we're done. And I feel like it probably did do a lot of things. And even if it was just a detox for your skin, that allowed your skin to heal on its own. Like, I mean, it is what it is, you know what I mean? And like for a woman, it would have been double hard for a woman to do that, because we can detox our skin, but then if we have a hormone fluctuation, that's just it. And then it's gone. And then all of that detox effort was for nothing. We need a fucking chemical peel anyway. Like it's bullshit.
And then you have to restructure that whole thought process too, because you know, your hormone fluctuation at 30, you know, and then, you know, at 40 is going to be totally different. I feel
like, oh my God, you're pretty safe from my hormone range. Oh my God. Yeah, it's terrible.
Like, why can't you be here? Because I would totally come to you and make you do everything to my skin. This is just ridiculous.
I mean, I'm sorry, you need to come the fuck on up here.
Well, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this one to move down here so you can open up a wellness center.
I keep telling Val, like every time I see her, I'm like, so if I'm just like, hey, we're going to Florida, hop in, sis. And she's like, sign me up, let's go. You know, like it's
I want us to open up a wellness center. I want to have a place for her to do massage and Reiki and ear seeds and all that fun stuff and candling and all of that. And then I want you to come and I want you to like totally like wax the JJs. And let's face it, the men down here want their butts waxed.
Oh, well, I'm actually I'm one of, I think, the only 2 women in Delaware left that do men. But I've waxed men my whole career, and they are not teaching women to do that in the industry anymore. I mean, it's included in their education, but they aren't doing it. And I don't know if it's this whole burn your bra movement or whatever. I don't know what it is, but like women are just not comfortable doing that. And I'm like, but you don't understand. You're taking out a very important factor. And it's not the factor that they're men. It's the fact that men are more loyal than women. And if they get comfortable with somebody, they will chronically come to that person until they can no longer do so.
Yeah.
And you're missing out on like a client. Like in 22 years, I have never had any man come into me for any kind of intimate waxing whatsoever. And intimate for men could be your back, could be your chest, could be your Brazilian waxing, like any of that, because men are very private about those things. Like they practically have to wear a wig and dark glasses just to come into the salon, you know, like whatever. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, you are limiting who you will work on. And that is just crazy, because I'm sorry, men need to clean that shit up too.
Yes. Well, I'll let you know right here now, I would totally let you wax my ass.
Excellent. I would love to wax your ass. It'll be fine.
I am looking at flights right now.
Yeah.
I'm flying
and you could be there. You could be there. You could totally be there, and we could
I'll be at the front end of the table. I'll just give you eye contact.
Well, because what I'm thinking is, we could probably live stream it to our viewers.
Oh my goodness.
Comment
below if you want us to live stream it.
Getting my ass
Let's do this shit, okay?
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
I'm so glad that you brought this up, because I was going to bring up the whole male waxing, and I'm so glad that you brought it up.
Yeah, because men are afraid. Some men are afraid to do it, but once they do it, then it's like, oh my God, what if I miss it? Because a lot of guys, at least guys that I've known over my life, they'll shave or get some, over-the-counter depilatory cream that smells like ass and burns the shit off of your skin. And, that's horrible. And then you got to, take care of that. But if you find someone who can wax it, take it off, make you nice and smooth, she said they will come back. Yeah. And you will have a client for life, a client for life.
Yeah.
So what about the hair removal aspect of things? I know that has been, I don't want to say super new to the VSpa, but are you seeing an increase with the laser treatments that you're doing as well? I know it's summertime, so it's probably a little different this time of year.
For the laser treatments, there's been a huge increase in that, as far as even individual services, about every 8 or 10 weeks or so, we do offer just a 1-day special where you can do a flat fee for one time in one area. And it gives people a chance to try it. If they've been doing one particular area and they want to try something else to see if they like it, we've done that. And we always have standard packaging and things like that. And people really like it, especially the hardcore waxers. And laser treatments, you go to a big place that has 14 machines and 17 mortgage payments on all these machines, and their prices are just astronomical. Well, the little 600 square foot VSpa, we only have one machine and we only have one nurse practitioner. So our overhead is so much less, and our packages are so much more reasonable that it's not this horrendous commitment where you have to sell off your firstborn because I don't want your damn kids, nothing crazy like that, right? And
you could sell them on the side and get it, yes, I will take them and I will move them. sell them into go take them to a hostel or something. I don't know, but you don't need.
Oh my God.
I mean, just drop them off or some shit. I don't know. But, we've seen a huge influx of the laser, and even people that, are not current clients, they come in and they inquire about it. And that is a process, and it is a financial commitment, but it absolutely, laser is so much more than people have made it out to be. Because when I first started looking into carrying the equipment and having a nurse on staff and oh my God, the insurance payment, let's not even talk about that. But to have all of these things was such a huge commitment. And then I'm taking this class about, the contraindications and things like that. And this one woman who said, I'm taking the class just as continuing education. And she gave me a lot of insight. She wasn't even actually really the teacher, but she gave me this insight about how laser is more than just get every hair on your body to go away immediately. And what she said really stuck with me. And it was that people will come in and try and manage their hair growth. And I'm like, okay. So I equated that with waxing. And I was like, well, I'm not going to stop waxing. I'm not going to do away with the laser. I wanted to have both. And she was like, well, you're always going to have both, because not everybody is going to want to buy a year's worth of treatments for a set price and just tick them off one at a time. Some people that have just an atrocious amount of hair and have all these problems with ingrown hair. I know, Miss James. Oh my God.
It's the Armenian, isn't it? It's the Armenian in you.
It is her DNA. The poor girl cannot help it.
No, there's so many great qualities about my background. I'm just saying, laser hair removal saved my self-confidence 100%. And I mean, because I think of my genetics, never seeing a hair again in the areas that I had it removed is not going to happen unless I continue to do it for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But what I said to someone who, she's actually a client now, she's with you right now, I said, it was money well spent because I am dealing with a quarter of the hair that I have been dealing with my whole life.
That's
the ingrown
amazing.
hair aspect of it is amazing. You know, you go to the beach for the weekend or the shore or, you know, wherever you're from, whatever you call it, beach, shore, whatever. But you pack, you know, 3 cute bathing suits and you can only really go and feel confident one day because you shave the second day and the salt water hits, you know, your bikini line and everything's agitated, or the third day the ingrown hairs are starting, or, you know, God forbid you got to, you know, get waxed like 3 days before you left and everything's already all agitated as it is. It's just, it is honestly something that has helped with confidence, let alone, I mean, I probably should have put stock in Mach 3 razors when I was going through, you know.
Well, and that's exactly what that woman in that class said. You know, she said it's going to look different for everyone. And because my salon is so much smaller, during the consultation, I asked them, like, what is your goal? Like, the younger girls are like, I don't want any hair left anywhere, not even in the crevices where I can't even see. Like, they don't want any hair anywhere. But then it's like somebody else might come in, like even, you know, somebody with like the same DNA as you know, like they might come in and be like, you know what, I just need to get the ingrown hairs out of here. Like, I don't need to be completely hairless. I just need it to be maybe half of what it is. And as the treatments go on, like eventually they do get to a point where they're like, never mind, I just want it all now. Like, look how great this is. You know what I mean? But like, that's not necessarily the end goal to start with. But the beauty of the laser hair removal is that you can have it like that. Mm-hmm. And I also feel like because I'm a small place, I can have a conversation with somebody like that because I'm not costing myself any money. If anything, I'm opening up a portal for people to be like, okay, well, I'm going to get a couple of laser treatments and then the rest, I'm just going to wax. But because I got the laser treatments, now I only have to get waxed every 8 weeks instead of every 4 or whatever. Like, I'm not costing anybody any money by having like a specific conversation with a client. And, you know, I have clients with hormone issues that just really aren't candidates for laser hair removal. But God damn it, we can wax it. Like, I mean, let me help you the fuck out. Like, let me make that happen for you, sister. But look, I'm glad to help somebody spend their money, but I am not going to help them spend it if they are not going to get anything out of it. And that's the beauty of going to like a smaller place. Like, you go to the bigger places that have 14 machines and they're like, doesn't matter if they're a candidate for it, I have to sell so many packages or I get fired or whatever. That shit ain't never gonna happen in my place because my salon is not gonna get bigger than me.
I mean, that's integrity. That speaks to your integrity. And I think, you know, some people may not realize that skincare isn't only about taking care of your skin. It really is helping you put your best foot forward, so to speak. And it really is a confidence booster because if your skin looks great and you feel great, and, you know, people say, wow, you know, what did you do? Your skin looks amazing. That just elevates your energy. And it's skincare truly is, whether you use, you know, Suzanne Summers natural botanicals, or you use chemical-based, deeper, you know, harsher treatments, whatever you need, doesn't matter. It is a beautiful and valuable service to humanity. It really is. It's a gift. Skincare really is a gift. And I don't think people realize it, and that's why, you know, sometimes, there are treatments that are more expensive, but what are you willing to invest in yourself? Because it really is an investment in yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
So now I want to ask, I want 2 horror stories.
Yes,
2
you were right in my head. I love it.
Horror stories.
Okay, so we're gonna lump the first one into blessing and curse. Okay. And you guys are just gonna crack up because it's so funny. Okay. So this happened to me in the beginning of my career and then again recently. Okay. my clients, all of my Brazilian waxers, you know, a lot of people, like I'm the only person other than their like OBGYN that sees them like that, right? So of course, who also comes in to get their Brazilian waxes? All of my pregnant clients. And you know what? It pisses me off because not one of those people have named those babies after me, and I'm the one who got them pregnant. Okay, like just to be clear, okay? I mean,
Okay, that's
everybody that came in pre-COVID to get their vagina wax that got knocked up during COVID. I mean, where is the love here, people? Okay, like
no love. You get
middle
no
name
love.
is all I was asking for. Like, for Christ's sakes, like this is just terrible. Okay, but my pregnant clients come in, and I will never forget the first time that I had a client's water rake when she was getting her situation waxed right before her baby. And so I was already a mom, so I did not panic, but she was not. And this was her first baby. And if you could have just seen the look on her face, and I looked right at her and I was like, do not panic. Because look, first babies, they typically are a little bit slower. Like, just because your water broke, you are not giving birth here because you cannot afford my fee. Okay, you got to get the fuck out of here. I don't care where you go, but you got to get the fuck out of here. Okay. And she was like panicked. And I said, you do not have to panic. Like, your husband is right in the lobby. They were getting ready to go to lunch or something equal, you know, whatever. And I said, you're going to have to skip lunch because you need to go to the hospital and get checked. Like, and she was panicked. She was just, you know, younger. They'd only been married like a year. They had a honeymoon baby. She was 25. And I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, sweet child.
You have plenty of time to get to the hospital. So, you know, we're going to put that one in the blessing and the curse category because the poor girl was just so panicked. And I know that it looked like a curse to her, but I was just like, oh, a baby, like your baby's for blessings, you know? And I was like, but no, the curse, no, I don't care what you do, but you got to get the fuck out of here because you cannot afford my baby. Okay? I do not birth babies. I only birth my own babies. Like, no. And it happened to me last year again.
Wow.
Somebody's water broke in my care. And I was like, oh no. Oh, fuck no. I was like, you got to get the fuck out of here. Like, and like the first one was like a gush. It was all over the place, like whatever. And the next one, she was like, oh, I think my water just broke. And it was like a trickle I can handle. All we do is throw away the sheets. Like, that's totally fine. You know, like it's what it is. But the first one, that poor girl, Lord Jesus.
Bill said, wait a second. I got 3 more strips. Hold on.
You need to wait.
I got 3 more. Don't go.
Well, and the one last year, she was so funny. She was like, are you going to finish? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, how do you feel? She was like, I'm okay. I was like, you got to go.
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That girl that said you got to finish. That is what I'm talking about. You can't have me looking crazy.
That's what you know. You know you're a real woman right there. What the fuck are you doing right there?
Listen, we're taking videos of you coming out of my vagina. So I need the hair gone. So you need to stay inside just a little bit longer.
And Brian, that's a real thing. Like, I mean, people video their births, and I mean, I applaud them if that's what you are into. Yes, let me make it pretty for you. Come here, baby. Like, I will fix it the fuck up for you. Yes, like, come on, I'm a team player. Absolutely. But
she screams and pushes out that baby, and then other video, she's like,
no damn babies, okay? I'll hold the camera, but I ain't birthing no damn babies, okay? Get the fuck out of here, okay? You still got to pay the same fee, okay? And I don't bill insurance, so you can't afford it. Like, that's it. Yeah.
Oh
my god, that is so awesome.
So we'll put that one in the blessing and the curse category because I tell that story sometimes and people are like, oh, and they're like panicked. I'm like, no. I've had 3 kids. That, like, somebody's water breaking, that's like not the worst thing that's happened to me today. Like, that's a good thing and a healthy thing, but it's not a good thing when your client panics. Like, shit, it's okay. Like, I didn't see the baby's head. I just said your water broke. Like, they're totally different situation. Like, they got another at least 3 inches before I'm going to be able to see their head. Okay, like get the fuck out of here. You got to have a baby today.
That is so awesome.
So I would say, you know, like some of like the worst things, like, you know, it is a service industry, you cannot make everyone happy. I totally understand. And I would say about the worst thing that has ever happened to me is, and it typically is either someone new or someone that's never been specifically to me or somebody who works for me, like something like that. And when I first opened the salon, I had somebody working for me and somebody had come in and gotten a wax with her. Obviously, like the state law says you have to close the door. I was not present for the wax, like whatever. And it was just like a very basic bikini wax. She went on the local Facebook pages and just blasted us about how she wasn't happy with her wax and how it just didn't go well, and how that she said that somebody was like double dipping in wax, and so, and how that like the towel that was there, that she was supposed to leave it on the bed. Of course you're supposed to leave it on the bed. I mean, were you more comfortable throwing it on the floor? Like, I mean, whatever, I'm going to clean it up either way, but I mean, what the fuck are you going to do with it? Doesn't matter to me. Like, just leave it there because you can't take it home with you. Like, there you go, you know. Yeah. But this person, like, when she put this review up, like, I went and I looked back to see, you know, who she had gone to and like what service she had gotten and things like that. And she never called. Like, I have a private assistant now who does a lot of, you know, emails and answers phone calls and, you know, like, you know, helps book people and stuff. And that person never called in to complain, never told me that there was a problem, never came back in to have it corrected, never asked for a gift card, never asked for her money back. Like, so I don't know, honestly, what the situation is. And I think that personally, for me, like as a service provider and as a business owner, is worse than anyone complaining. Because if you're complaining, it is a standing rule at the VSpa that I actually do not give refunds. And the reason behind that is because my credit card fees are very, very low. That is a business expense. I do not pass credit card fees on to my clients, nothing like that. But that's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
I do not give refunds because the cost to do a refund puts me in the negative. And I refuse to do that. I don't care who you are or what you paid. I will give you a gift card. I will give you a free service. I will allow you to buy products for the equal amount that you paid. I can refund the gratuity for free, but I cannot refund the service. Like, it's two totally different things, but it puts me in the negative. And I am not in a business to be negative. If it broke me even, then that would be one thing. And I would be a little bit more lenient with that. But she never complained. Now, fast forward, after that situation, about 11 weeks, I had put up something. I hadn't been open that long, and I had put up something. I had just finished a class, and I was looking for models. There was like, you know, something that was free, you know, like people were coming in, and that person reached out to me to get a free service. She had because when I put up a model call, it's whatever it is, it's free, but you sign a release and you don't get to choose what it is because it's free, you know, like whatever. And she did. She reached out to me, and I was so shocked that she had the nerve to reach out to me. Like, you complained about my staff. You told everyone like how much we suck and like how terrible it was. And then you reached out for a free service, because I would have gladly redone the service or explained to her why we do things the way that we do them or whatever the situation is. And even still now, after all these years, now she runs a Facebook page now, and it is Facebook, Instagram, like it's all the same thing. And she still, if people are still looking for waxing, she still tells them not to come to my salon 6 years later.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And that to me is worse than screwing up somebody's eyebrows or like not doing something and somebody's not happy, because I can make you not happy. Like, I can absolutely fix that. You know, like, we can talk about it if you're not happy with your eyelashes, or you don't like your spray tan, or you don't like your chemical peel, or whatever. All those things I can fix, but I can't fix it if you don't tell me. And for me, that is so much worse than anything else.
That's crazy. Oh my God, this has been so much fun.
Yes.
Like, I think what I think we should do is we should have you back several more times, and we can talk about maybe different individual services. And I mean, like I said, I could talk about skincare forever, but I think there's so much to talk about that we can't get in just one episode. Why not come back and let's break it down and do individuals We can talk about whatever. But before we go, I would really love for you to give your contact information, your Insta, your Facebook, your website, your email, your phone number, your address, anything you want to tell people, because people need to get a hold of you.
Yes. So actually, you can find everything about me on the website. Somebody mans the phone number 24/7. There's also voicemail. The cell phone for the salon is an actual cell phone. So somebody always has it. If I am not available, the number is forwarded to like an assistant, but it's always the same number. Everything. There is a Facebook feed right on the website, and it's the thevspas with an S on the end, .net. That's it. You can find everything on there, all of our contact information. You can book on there. You can call us. You can email us. You can follow us all on our social media. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know what Tumblr is. My assistant found that one. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but we have it. You know, like we have all this shit. I have no idea what that is. A bunch of
people falling down. I don't know. Are we tumbling? I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's the people that are like, oh, I have a scar on my face. Oh, how did you get that? I tumbled. Or like Culture Club, I tumble for you. I don't know. I mean, and you know, you come into the V-Spa and you get this consultation, and not only do you get uninterrupted time with yours truly, I give you advice, and it's not very fucking good, but I still give it, and you get my foul mouth delight for, you know, whatever length of time your service is. It's
foul mouth delight on a t-shirt. Foul mouth delight on a t-shirt.
Three.
We've got
three.
Yeah, foul mouth delight. Like that is like, people call me Steve Stifler all the time because I'm like that person in my group of friends, like my squad, like my homies. They're like, oh my God, like Val's like the Steve Stifler of the group. Yeah, because everybody's like, oh, everything's kittens and roses, and I'm like, fuck you guys, we need a shot.
Oh my God,
Foul
hilarious!
mouth
Yes,
delight.
We need to do a million of these. This is just hilarious. Yes. So you will come back. You will talk more about other things.
Yes, I would love to come back.
Hey, this was so awesome. So yeah. So okay, let's hold up our drinks and let's do a little toast.
Mine's empty.
Val, thank you so much for spending this hour with us. It was an honor for me and a pleasure. I'm so happy to meet you. I watch your stuff and I giggle.
I follow you guys.
I love it.
Oh, thank
you. I love it. All right, so cheers.
Look, I'm almost out of booze. Look,
I'm out. It's like
you need to suck that whole thing down.
I'm telling you. Now I have to go deal with all these fucking kids. Even the grown one. He's at the house. He's probably upstairs grocery shopping as we speak.
I love it.
I did that at my mother's, by the way. I moved away. And then what I would do is once a week, generally on Sunday, I would go over with a grocery bag and I would just go into the pantry and pick a few things. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm grocery shopping.
Oh, he doesn't even bring a fucking bag. He just fucking takes it. God damn it.
I mean, at least bring a bag. I don't know.
No, he doesn't even bring a fucking bag. And sometimes he will bring the food over and he wants me to cook it for him, so he can take it home with him. So I swear to God. And you want to know what's
so
funny?
Smart.
Is that I fucking do it.
And
of course you do. You're the mother. Of course you do.
So when I see you next week, I'm bringing a bunch of food, and when you don't have clients, I just need you to like run home, cook it for me, and then
fuck off, Jamie.
And there you have it. There you have it. Oh my God. This is so much fun. I'm going to giggle about this probably for the rest of the evening. I'm just telling you I am. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So we'll get with you when we want to get together, do some more stuff and cackle and have fun. So friggin' awesome.
Love you.
Yes.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
everybody
It's a pleasure meeting you.
Exfoliate.
Exfoliation, scraping, getting rid of hair, all that fun stuff.
Bye,
oh my
guys,
God, thank you so much. Take care.
All right. See you. Love you.
Bye.
So everyone, that was Val, and that was amazing.
you better get ready to dump the bucket to that foul mouth delight.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I'm telling you, she needs the t-shirts. Dump the bucket. That's just one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If you are not in Delaware and you would like some guidance from Val, she does do virtual appointments as well. So like she said, go on to thevspas.net and reach out to her and her staff, and you can get set up virtually and get on the right track with your skincare.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, invest in yourself. This, it doesn't last forever. We may as well have it look as good as it possibly can while we have it. Then, of course, everyone, you can catch us on the Don't Smudge the Small Stuff podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. Find us on Instagram at DSTSS Podcast. And we will talk to you all very, very, very soon. Thank you for spending this time with us. We love you so much.